hopefully you can hear me, but what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This week's video. Prep has started. This is going to be the start of my prep vlog series. Technically prep started yesterday, but I was already at the gym, training legs, and I came home, had a few meals, watched the football, watched the second Harry Potter, and then went to bed. Today, we're up nice and early, ready to go and do some fasted cardio. Signed up to the local Pure gym, your typical new bodybuilder stuff, got some caffeine to get me pumped, get me going, kick off my first morning cardio that I've done in God knows how long. So, I'll catch you there.
Right, people. Day 2 of my second full day of prep. I guess prep really started on Sunday, so day 3. If we're going to be doing it for my check-ins, this will be like the 4th day of the week. It's all a bit confusing for now, but it will settle itself out as we get into the weeks and I get used to doing these weekly vlogs. The aim is to like kind of take you through my day throughout the week, if that makes sense. So like Monday will be my morning and then Friday will be the end of the day sort of thing. If that makes sense, we go chronologically through the week, and as we get closer to the end of the week, we get later on in the day. But obviously if anything else happens, hopefully everything will be clockwork and it will be the same, because that'll make for a great prep. But anything else happens, I'll obviously record that and put it in the vlog. So I'm going to put a quick thing on my story from my Instagram story here, so you can see the aggro that I've had today. Second round of fasted cardio for prep is done. It's been aggro these last 2 days. Day 1, I get to Pure Gym thinking beautiful, no one's going to be in there, it's going to be great, going to get on the stairs, there's loads of Stairmasters. So there's only 2 Stairmasters, which is average anyway, but only one's working, one's out of order, and I have to wait for someone to finish to go on, which is obviously okay, it is what it is. And then day 2, I'm thinking, oh please, 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 no one be on the Stairmaster. I get in there, beautiful, no one's on the Stairmaster. I'm thinking, oh, this is my lucky day. I walk over there, there's a reason no one's on the Stairmaster, because some animal has pulled the wire out the front of the Stairmaster. Firstly, I didn't even know there was a wire in the front of the Stairmaster. So I'm fuming, come to the local, shout out Next Gen, got on the stairs, it's done, stress over. If I knew prep was going to be this stressful 2 days in, I'd have photoshopped my videos that everyone else does. Okay, right, so you can tell why I'm a bit like adrenaline jumped up and a bit irate, because it's been a hell of a morning and a hell of a waste of money. On a brighter note, we got meal 1. Meal 1 is the same as it has been for ages. However, I'm back to 2 eggs instead of 4. Oh, the fats are making me very hungry, or the lack of fats. So, gonna whip that up and obviously I'll show you when it's done. Okay, so the eggs are pretty much done. I thought I'd just show you how I like them, because I like them in a weird way. It's kind of like scrambled, but with the texture of an omelette, so it's like not the gooey, wobbly scramble, because miss me with that. But okay, I'll me bashing the life out of it. Here we go. So 2 eggs, 150 grams cooked weight of mince, which works out around 200, just over 200 grams raw weight. I had to reduce the amount of raw weight I put in, because this new pan I got is elite. It, like, you put it on, it's cooked. Rapid fire means I spend less time cooking. Put a bit of salt on. This electric salter is bang on as well. So, like I said, 2 eggs. Bring it closer, I might not be in focus, but let me bring that in focus. There we go. Hopefully I'm back in focus. I did a quick. So I have this with 100 grams of oats. I have mine in powder form, as you would have seen from my videos. I'm not going to go through that too much. 100 grams of that. Link in the description below if you want to buy using code jameshughesjdh at checkout on my protein. That's what I use for my oats and some other products. Enough waffling. This isn't a full day of eating. One of them will come soon, because my calories have been dropped dramatically. More of that as we get to the end of the week. I'll catch you in a bit. Right, so we are back from the gym. Had a post-workout shake. I didn't take you through my meal 2, which was chicken, rice, green beans, and almond butter. This one's similar, 220 mince, 90 grams raw weight of jasmine rice, and 100 grams of green beans, but I'm out of green beans at the moment, so subbed in broccoli to get me through today until I re-up tomorrow. So what I do is I'll take this mince and I'll bag it up into what I cook with, basically like meal prep, but instead of cooking the food, I just prep the raw ingredient to cook at my leisure. So that's what we're gonna do now. I just got back, I trained back today. Today's Thursday. Wednesday was obviously my rest day, and Tuesday you saw in the previous part of the vlog. Back went extremely well, pulled an all-time deadlift PR, 230 kilos for 5. If you want to see that, that'll be on my Instagram. The link for that's in the description below anyway. Starting to get in the rhythm of prep now. My body clock is starting to adjust. What I've been doing is I've been going to bed about half an hour, maybe an hour earlier, around 10:30 from 11 o'clock. And I've been waking up at the end of 6 to the early minutes of 7 o'clock. So like between 6:30 and 7 o'clock, just throw some water on my face, get changed and get myself to the gym, do my cardio, come back, and the rest is as has been shown in the previous parts of the video. My life is very routine at the moment, so although I'm not showing you everything I do every day, I'm showing you different segments of the day. Just know I'm doing the same thing on the other days as well. Tomorrow is chest day. What I'll do is I'll show a few snippets of my chest workout tomorrow as the next part of this vlog, and then I'll catch you all for meal 5 and a little wrap up of the week before we check in Saturday for my 17 weeks out mark. Right, so we are back for meal 5. My meal 6 is just a shake, cream of rice and protein shake. So I'm not going to show you that, but I'm going to conclude the weekly vlog here with my 5th meal. I just had chicken, 220 grams cooked weight chicken. Now I'm going to have cream of rice and peanut butter, almond butter I've switched to now. So I've got, at the moment I've got the triple chocolate trained by JP cream of rice. It is banging. Big fan of that flavour. And I don't know if they've changed their cream of rice, like how they make it, but since I've tried the new release of them, they've changed the packaging and got these new flavours. They've tasted it a lot better, so I might even stick with them over the complete strength ones in the future, but I do like the complete strength flavours. And then got this Meridian almond butter, 16 grams almond butter, almond butter, and then 80 grams of the cream of rice. As you'll have seen from the chest workout, it went well, it felt great. The only thing was I lost a couple of reps in some of my movements, which usually when you're dieting, your pressing strength is the first to go, and where you see the most dramatic falls in strength, falls in ability. But I think also just because we are week 1 and the start has been a drastic deficit. So I don't know if I mentioned this earlier on in the video, but I finished my off season on over 6,000 calories a day, which is a hell of a lot of food and doesn't leave you much time in the day to do anything else but food. But the one positive that comes out of that is your ability in the gym is off the charts. When you're in your peak off season, everything's at its highest, your body's at your heaviest. Obviously your strength is going to improve along with that and correlate with that as well. My maintenance was like a 1,500 drop from that. I dropped around 4,500 calories, and then now we're down to sub 3,500. So it's a good 2,500 decrease in calories from my off season, but I did spend a good 6 weeks at maintenance, so I was adjusted to those calories. So we'll call it for what it is, the 1,000 decrease from my maintenance calories, 1,000 plus calories, as I no longer have my high days with the cereal anymore, of course. I started midway through Sunday. The things came through while I was at the gym, so I had my first 2 meals at maintenance, and then my final 4 meals as the new prep diet. So I've had a full week through the week, not including the weekend days. The weekdays had a full week of weekdays on prep now. Shoulders was fine on the Monday, a little bit less. That's just the first day, probably my body's scrounging around for energy, as it's just like, where's the calories gone. Tuesday for arms, I was better. Had Wednesday off, of course, is my rest day. Thursday, yesterday, I put in one of my best performances of back day I've had in ages. And then today the pump was great, everything was great, just a little bit weaker, noticeably weaker. And more importantly, I didn't feel as though I was recovering as well between sets, which I've put my cardio first thing in the morning instead of post-workout, less calories pre-workout meal and less calories in my first meal as well. So the accumulation of those things, getting into that new routine, rebuilding my rhythm, a few things out of whack. I'm still training at the same time, but having extra output and less input earlier in the day is just something I have to get used to, and I'll probably reset some of my baseline numbers to progress throughout the prep as a result, just so I'm not trying to keep up with what I was doing when my routine was a little bit different. And that's mainly just for my pressing movements. Like I said, the 2 days this week where strength wasn't at its best, so I'm probably going to reset those two, keep everything else the same, and battle through this prep and still progress. Everything's in full swing now, so my strength is likely to come back soon. But yeah, I'm gonna whip this up and end the video there. I hope you did enjoy this little vlog. Let me know if you want to see anything else as part of my weekly vlogs. I haven't done much different this week from what I've shown you. Everything that I've shown you, I've done the same thing on the other 6 days of the week. Today's Friday, so tomorrow I'm going to be starting my next video with my first prep check-in. So I'll take you through some of my poses and some of the other stuff that goes on during the week. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We gained a few subscribers recently, and I'd love you all to come on this prep journey with me to my first show. I'm buzzing, looking forward to this. So like, subscribe, share, comment, all those good things. Click that notification bell so you don't miss when we upload. When my training gets back into full force, I'll have the two uploads a week, or try to, for as long as possible before prep brain kills me off. But like I said, guaranteed one a week in this vlog style video with some training and eating involved as well. But I'll catch you all next week.